Welcome to the 11th Createbase Community Call. Thanks for joining us. Here we have Nate and Carol, co-founders of Mintbase, and we have Lenara and I, Chloe Lewis, co-facilitators of the Createbase community. So for today's call, we're going to start off with a little intro of what Createbase is, like normal. And to do that, I am going to kind of go through the new website updates we have for the Createbase community website. So here's the link right there. And then Lenara is going to go over some updates we have to the Onboarded Ambassadors program. It's been doing really well. We've had a lot of people from the community come on, get up to 10 year to distribute to their own communities. So we're making some changes to that. And then we're going to have the Mintbase team kind of share like updates to testnet so far. So I will let Lenara explain who she is as well. So we can get a little intro before we go.
So together with Chloe, I'm a facilitator for this guild. And we want to get people involved to move forward with their creative projects and help them whatever way we can. We have funding, as I said, and we also just help with connecting people to others that might be, help for them to form a team or have things in common, etc. So, but also there's so many people that are super new. They don't even have a Near wallet. And right now it's kind of tricky to get a Near wallet because you need to get a little bit of Near tokens in order to have a name for your wallet. So one way we're doing this is, we give Near names and wallets to people if they contact us, to the Telegram group or to Twitter. But that's, we want to have this reach more people. So we have now the Onboarding Ambassadors program. And this is for people who have a group of creatives and could be like, a specific field. I'm saying maybe, I know lots of rappers or I know photographers or all kinds of people that would be interested in this. So you can register as a Createbase ambassador, and then we give you some Near, and with that Near, you can then give wallets to people. And right now, you need at least 0.1 Near to have a name. So I think we're going to give you now in the second round 3 Near as a starting, like the first level of ambassadors. And then already you can actually, if you just use it for that, you can do almost 30 people. A little tiny bit will be the fees, but right? Or you can give them a little bit more if you want, so they can start using some apps. I think normally 0.25 is what the apps require to start using them. So, and then after you onboard them, you get back to us, and then you can level up and we can give you more Near, and, it kind of becomes like a wave effect. You can get more people to onboard others. So that's basically our new ambassador program round that you can apply to.
Yeah, so we're going to have all the details for that out very soon, and there'll be ways to level up through that program and start earning more Near to be able to give to your community. So I'm just going to do a quick presentation of the website updates. So let me move that over. So here we have the Createbase community website, where you'll be able to hopefully find all the information you need about the Createbase community. If you ever see any issues with it, please let us know, either Lenara and I, and we'll get to it and put more information. You can edit it. But you can visit our wiki here, or all of our blog posts. And so, for example, these Createbase calls are summarized. I think Ivana, part of the community, that she's here as well. She does some of those for us, which is wonderful. And one of our blog posts, like Lenara talked about, is helping you figure out how to submit an application and how to get funding with Createbase. So Lenara put together this wonderful post about the format of how to go through it, talk about your project description, about your project benefits. Not only how does it benefit you, but how does it benefit Createbase and Near ecosystem. You put kind of a general funding amount for your project size, and you put your timeline and budget. For the timeline and budget, we do submit payouts throughout the project timeline. So please put fundable milestones as well. And we have a little like what we fund and what we don't fund there at the bottom. What we're doing now is our bi-weekly community call. So you can come up here and see what we have here. You can join our call. That puts you right into the call we have here. A little information about the meeting. I know we've had some issues with people in the past not being able to join on mobile, but there is a mobile application. We do have a link to download it here. It's for iPad and mobile devices. Also, just so you know, this meeting space is open 24/7. And so if you want to use this meeting space to talk about your project, to talk with a team member, or just get to know people, use it as a meeting space, you can use this link and meet people here as well. And as I said, we have all of our call summaries at the bottom. Last but not least for our updates, actually not last but not least, second last but not least, we have our Createbase Sputnik DAO. So if you want to earn a few near, I think we have 5 to 15 near, you can earn that by submitting payouts to the Createbase Sputnik DAO. The video I did here just to explain the process of submitting a proposal, and it looks like my internet is not working very well. Sorry about that. Here we go. There's a 0.1 near bond, so you do have to submit a bond when you submit a proposal, just for spam reasons. And our 3 different bounties are, the first one is showcasing your store. So if you have a store deployer badge for the Mintbase testnet and you deploy your store, tweet about it, put that tweet link in a proposal, and you'll be able to earn 5 near. You could bring a friend to the Createbase calls. Some people have done that as well. So if you bring a friend to this call here, you can earn 5 near for that. And you can live tweet the Createbase community call or any Createbase event. I know we have some, Carol's on Clubhouse a lot, and I think Nate was on Clubhouse today, actually. So you can live tweet those events and earn 15 near as well. So an example of, let's say, showcasing your store. We have the Sputnik DAO here. We have a bunch of different, we have 50 different proposals already that have come through the DAO. And you can see all the different examples here of different people who have made payouts to the DAO and earned, 5, 10, and all different types of near submitting payouts to the DAO. That's taking a while to load. But we're going to have more information up here soon, but that's a little bit of information about how to get started. And so, yes. Thank you so much. If you ever want to figure out more information about anything we're doing at Createbase, we should have all of our information at the Createbase Community website. And so please go there. If you have an idea for an extra bounty as well, please suggest them to us. A lot of the bounties that we have up are bounties that people have suggested to us, and we've moved them from the Notion board over to the DAO. So if there's no questions and everyone's good with that, we are going to switch over to having Nate, I'm pretty sure, co-founder of Mintbase, give some stats about what's been going so far, how the testnet launch has been going so far, and some going-ons there. So we will...
Hello. All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Cool. Yes. Launching a system. There's a lot of stuff going on. So for the most part, we have over 2,685 people who not only link their Twitter account, but also link their testnet account. So I was expecting 30 to maybe 150 people. So this kind of blew my mind a bit. It's definitely not bots. So that's the other big one. Been just adding stuff. Our team has just been cranking. There's so many different moving parts. Every single day, it feels like it's a whole new site. So the first release last week was pretty much just really wanting to see the royalties and the split fee functions work. A lot of UI, errors and things airing out, but for the most part, we were just kind of focusing on, does this work? When you buy a thing, does money go up for the royalties? Does it also get split evenly between all the split revenue? That was pretty successful. So we got to focus on this week on basically a lot of UI integration things. So you'll just be seeing little features popping up all over the place. Let's see, like here we have a nice little Arweave integration. You can actually go into the Arweave URL and see that it is hosted on that network. A big thing we'll be working on that's built into the system is you'll be able to actually update as the store deployer your Arweave gateway. So if you are an artist collective and you want to run your own Arweave node, then you can just direct your storage of your items on your own node. Mintbase eventually will be running our own system. What's nice is when you deploy your contract is you can change this later on. The market is kind of coming together. It's a lot snappier than our other market on Ethereum, so pretty excited about that. And eventually categories will start filling in. I've been testing a bunch, so these are all my different smart contracts. You can see we've got my co-working smart contract. We got the Mintbase store deployer contract, so I send these guys out to everyone every day. Mass sending them out. It's been quite fun. We've onboarded now. I've sent out 124, and we have 97 stores that have been deployed, 200 things, 892 tokens, 119 minters. You can actually add minters to your contract. They don't need a store deployer piece. So if we come into, let's say, add age, we'll come into our store, into the settings. You can come in here and we can add someone else. So maybe, yeah, well, I'll show that in a minute. So the big deal for us too is kind of educating people that everything is being done on chain. You can come into your store that you created, add age at Mintbase 10. This will be 11 at the end of today because we just found a bug, so we will upgrade that today. But you can see all of your transactions as they start popping into the system. Let's see, what else? We can go into, so these are all my smart contracts on the left. These are all my different items that I own personally. Once you've minted the item, you can list it. So let's backtrack real quick. So again, there's two different split systems, right? Royalties, split revenue. So this happens on the minting process. This happens on the listing. So these people get wiped every single time something gets listed. These people get funds every single time it was created. This 10% is also dynamic all the way up to 50%, but basically the interface needs to catch up with our contracts. We have a lot of stuff that we still haven't implemented, including an offer system. If we go into, let's say, this one. So there's 4 available. Essentially, imagine 4 different rows of 4 different ways that we can actually bid on this item. So we still have to come up with a creative way of interpreting it visually, but imagine you can almost have an auction system in 4 different directions with one single item, which is this thing. So the batch listing, here's the batch. We can have multiple different offers, and then you can be adding the offers as we go. So that'll be next week. Let's go into minting, TCG. So here's where we can split the royalties. This is when we actually add the royalty. Make sure that it adds up to 100% when you mint, or it could fail, and all the other things that you guys can see. Another big thing that we're going to start creating is Mintbase JS, and that will get worked on as fast as we can. So then we also have add age. The other bit, any questions?
Yes, I think there was one that got answered already about including audio files, MP3s.
Yep.
That's
which one has
right?
audio? I think several of these have audios. Maybe this one.
Okay. Basically, what are the features that are still that people had on the previous implementation in terms of like files they could include or unlockable or stuff that you haven't done yet? So we have an idea.
Yeah, the unlockable, that will get popped back in. right now the real big drive is nailing the royalties and split fee function. Near is a different beast, so how we can handle the unlocking feature, that's going to take another bit of focus to figure out how that's going to work.
Okay, thanks.
But the bigger one is I'm really excited about is starting to beef up this page where we can start adding Ethereum accounts and start bringing in the Ethereum system into this new full web page. This site, as it is today, will get deprecated eventually. It's been a good tried and true site, but I cannot wait until this code never gets updated again.
Cool. So you mentioned you already deployed like 10 versions of it, like at the, and you're gonna do like an 11th one with new things that you're figuring out how to implement.
Oh yeah, it's always going to be evolving. So the real vision too later on is if we go into build new store. So this is simple enough, right? Store name, symbol. So eventually we're going to have sort of multiple different pathways where you can say, well, what are you actually trying to do with these NFTs? Is it for art? Is it for ticketing? Do we need bonding curves? Do you need X, Y, and Z? Do I just need a basic 721 contract? So this, as it looks right now, is simple. Over time, this is going to say, give me the simple one, or it's going to start saying, hey, what else do you need to do with your NFTs? What's the end goal?
Oh, that sounds amazing. And I know that lots of people will be interested in things like, now that the gas fees are low, things like ticketing and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we're also building a mechanism so that when you come in, you deploy your store. Every time someone lists, so if you create something that has purpose that people actually use, the more listings you'll get. The more it gets listed, every time someone lists an item to the market, you actually have to pay a small fraction of near to get it listed. That helps solve some storage issues, but it also will enable the store deployer to have their own business model built into Mintbase. So this isn't the protocol layer royalties that Near has. It's more of a, this is how we're handling the listing function, and it also solves the, let's start deploying stores that have a little bit more purpose to them.
Very cool. So let's see if anybody else has questions for Nate. I don't know if people here already got their, they're trying, or deploy their stores already. If you're here in the chat and you don't have a store deployer yet, just drop your testnet account here in the chat. And I think because Nate is looking for beta testers that can give some nice feedback, so you can get one, even if you're still a little bit away as the queue goes. If you're like number 2000 or something, we can get you one.
Yeah, definitely. I'd rather send it to people directly because then they can give us feedback directly. And we just ran into this error. That's why I'm a little grumpy right before the call. It's a new one. The collection is, can you guys see my screen where it says the collection is inconsistent state? Yeah. So that I'm going to have to get deployed right away. But this is the beauty of testnet, right? We're dealing with a new chain that we've never used before. The good news is our indexer has only gone down once over the last 12 days. So that's a big win in my book. And we are learning how to back up everything a lot more gracefully. We are hardening the system. It's been hard, guys. This has been one of the hardest things I've ever built in my life, but it is really coming together.
You're doing a super cool job so far.
Thanks. You guys are doing an awesome job too. It's been a mission.
Oh, thanks. We have the fun, easy job. We're just having fun with the community. You got to be in the code every day fixing the bugs. So we appreciate all the hard work you and team are doing so we can have all the fun experimenting. Yes, we will get you a store deployer badge. Awesome. And then Vandal had a question about what are the current file size limitations. I know it's like 6.7 something on for at least still files. I don't know what it is for videos. But.
Yeah, so here's the thing. There is no limit for Arweave. the problem that we're going to be hitting is we have 2,685 people who already have a hooked up account. So if we get everybody in the system to start uploading fake content to Arweave, Mintbase right now is paying that bill. So we need to figure out a way where you guys can hook up Arweave wallets, or at least send money to an Arweave wallet, your own Arweave that then depletes from that. Then we've solved that problem. So as far as limits go, there's no limitations. It's just basically how much stuff can we get done to get that moving.
Awesome. So that is all Laura has a question. Can I import a Rust contract on Mintbase?
You can deploy a Rust contract from Mintbase. I don't think you can import a Rust contract, but we can interact with your Rust contract. So if you deploy a Rust smart contract that has functions that are aligned with the standard, which we're creating right now, a big win in the standards meeting, Sparrow really pushed getting the royalties baked into the standard, at least as an optional feature. So we got that in. Thor's cranking on that to start that process. But yeah, if you follow the standard and you have a nice, beautiful function that says transfer, then we can interact with it the same way we can interact with it on Ethereum.
So there was some comments saying, what is the standard NEP4? So the quick answer to that is NEP4 is more similar to the ERC 721, and the team has been improving on that standard to include royalties and other features to make it, like approval features, to improve it.
Yeah, the NEP4 has one massive flaw, which is that there is no approved by token ID. And that is really bad. So let's say right now there's only basically an approved for all the tokens on this smart contract with the NEP4. So if some other contract says, okay, Mintbase, you're allowed to move all of these tokens, then Mintbase can move all your tokens whenever we want. So even if you sold a Mintbase token, if it does follow this NEP4 standard, then you own it, but Mintbase will always be able to move it wherever we want. We're fighting for having an approved by token ID on the core of the standard. Before, they wanted to kind of create their own separate contract system where everyone kind of handles it a little bit differently. But I think having the approved by token ID into the basic standard is super important for allowing all the different markets to interact with the tokens. The biggest issue, if you guys are following this, is that whenever you add an account to the contract that says Mintbase is allowed to move this token number 4, and then on transfer you remove that token, it increases storage a little bit, which is actually pretty neat because it enforces developers to think carefully about all the stuff we're putting on chain. So Ethereum has this really big problem that there's really no de-incentivization to not just put junk onto the chain. So yeah.
So there's a question that maybe you can go in more detail with. So will Paris ID appear on Mintbase at launch, or will it take a while for Paris ID to come around to the new standard? If you have any thoughts on that or knowledge.
I mean, if it is the NEP4, we can definitely. I mean, if the NEP4, someone says Mintbase, you can move my token. It's just Mintbase will have all control of your tokens with that system. I think they said their contracts are upgradable, so they might be able to solve that, or with new NFTs that come out afterwards. But yeah, the goal is to have them work with the system.
Sounds good. Yeah, the good thing is that a lot of these projects are upgradable. So while there's not really a way to implement some things potentially even now, as things upgrade, you can start incorporating into marketplaces.
Yeah, and the beauty is we're all experimenting right now, so there's no perfect way. So the way Paris is doing it right now, I think it's it's perfect. We're all as long as everyone knows what the contracts does or how these things work. I mean, no one's going to buy stuff without knowing a little bit more, and we're in the very early stages.
Sounds good. So that seems to be all for the questions that I see. So now, thank you so much, Nate, for speaking, about the Mintbase testnet platform and for answering all these questions. If anyone else has questions that come up throughout the discussion, please feel free to post them in the chat. We'll try and get to them. As well, if anyone would like to come on stage and share a little more of what they're doing, maybe they've had a chance to get on testnet and share more of their project, or maybe they just want to share what they're doing in general, feel free. We do not have to do that, though. We can definitely go back to the tables. I know a lot of times we end up talking for the entire time, but this community call time period is also for the community to talk to each other and just kind of chill at the tables as well. So we'll give a few seconds for people to kind of decisions if they want to come up on stage. And then we will end this session part of the call. So these sessions are recorded on YouTube, so you can go back. Anything you might have missed about what Nate was presenting, the questions he answered, will also be on YouTube, on the Createbase Community YouTube, so you can go check it out there. And please feel free to stay after this, hang out at the tables, get to know the fellow Createbase members, and then see you all in 2 weeks for sure for another wonderful Createbase call. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more fun stuff happening between then. So please, stay in the Telegram channel, stay on Twitter, and sign up for bounties. Our job is to support all you wonderful creatives. So take all of our near, please. But yeah, thank you, everybody.